One of the things that we have talked about, and it's really been a long-standing commitment of the brand, is this whole thing of transforming space and transforming experience for our clients. And really, that begins, if you're going to transform someone's experience or their space, it begins with understanding where they are and what their needs are. Think about design in the future. We're in a crazy time, right? A world that is quickly changing and probably not going back to the way it was. So how do we drive innovation and agility deep into everything we do? Because ultimately, to me, that's the key to design in the future.
As we look at product design, it's important that we're looking at how to design for the physical space, but also for the experiential space. And I think it's really important, the connection between the two, because it's really what allows us to collaborate and work efficiently and effectively. We have to look at adaptive spaces. Obviously, everybody may not be back in the office, and so how do we look at spaces that can be used for in-person meetings, but also virtual meetings? So making sure that our technology is up to date and that the room can be flexible enough depending on what work we're doing that day. You know, where we work, we want that to be an active space, but still have safety in mind. So how do we use the floor intuitively? Maybe it's showing distancing, maybe it's circulation, maybe it's the function of a space that may change. And so I think we'll accelerate how we're using the floor to really show those sensory cues that are important as we get back to the office. I think tactility is still going to be very important, as we have seen a little bit of a shift towards hard surfaces. But I think we are going to have to balance the acoustics, knowing that a lot of the spaces that we used before are going to have different functions. And so, you know, how do we look at the products that we're putting in a space to make sure that we are enhancing that for the user of the space? So you think about like biophilic design, and how is that incorporated into each space? So wood visuals are a great way to do that. It helps bring a lot of warmth into the space, especially if you're dealing with a lot of like really smooth surfaces. And obviously, you know, today we want to make sure that our surfaces look clean, that they can be sanitized. And so, you know, wood visuals allow us to bring a little more warmth, a little more nature into the space. I think there's also going to be a new focus on materiality, and what are those hybrid materials that maybe we can look to. So when you think about the benefits of hard surface, but maybe they have a little different tactility than what we've seen in some hard surface. So I think innovation in that category is going to be huge. At Packcraft, one of the things that we have really tried to do is to become a thought partner for all of our connections in the industry, and be involved in those conversations and try to understand, you know, what are the needs and what are the gaps and how can we help fill those.
You know, when you start looking at the future of design, it's not one thing, it's not one product, it's not one solution. It's really, as we started, about agility and innovation. It's about looking at the things as they come to us, and they're changing rapidly. Every day something changes. But with those changes, how do we quickly put in play new solutions that are creatively solving the problems of our clients?